everyone. Thanks for joining and welcome back. Our guest today is my good friend Kerry Stevenson. Kerry is the host of Making Money Matter and the founder of the Australian Gold Conference. Welcome back, Kerry.
And the founder of Gold Coast Gold now.
Oh, no way. Nice. It's a huge pleasure having you come down. Before we start, I want people to see your shirt. Stand up and show everybody your shirt.
Righto. There we go.
There you go. Keep calm and buy gold. And your next conference in Sydney, you said, is coming up here in October.
Yeah, 13 to 15 October, very much about we've got some mining companies, the explorers, the developers, the producers, but very much about educating people on, I guess you could say, why precious metals and why now. But I think, Ivan, one of the challenges for people is they think it's so complicated to purchase precious metals, and it's not complicated, but they get in their head that they think it is. So our job is to uncomplicate it and tell them exactly why gold and silver are money and everything else is credit. And you know it, they're at Wall Street Silver. What are they doing? They're printing that paper.
The debt levels, especially in the US right now, is just it's just unbelievable. It's hard to comprehend, especially when we were younger and we weren't even talking about billions. Then we got into billions. Now there's trillions, and the debt just keeps on increasing. And of course, to protect your purchasing power, you have to get into silver and gold and get into sound money. But I wanted to ask you, Carrie, last time we talked, there was a hurricane going on where you were at, and gold was a lot lower than it is right now. What are your thoughts? What's happening to gold this year?
Look, I think the right now gold's taking a bit of a breather, and so some people are going, "Oh, that's it. Gold's gonna, it's had its time. It's gonna go back, etc., etc." So you get people overthinking it, and gold or and silver they take a breather in May. It's a buy in May and go away type scenario, and the data tells us that this always happens. So I don't want people to freak out, but the facts of the matter of this, Ivan, the money printing globally, governments around the world, the only way they can see to prop up their insanity is to keep on printing. We've just had an election down here in Australia,
Okay.
and both sides of government were turning around and saying, we'll give you some money, and they were all turning around and saying, we're going to spend money on infrastructure, we're going to spend money here, there, and everywhere, we're going to give money to the people in order to get voted in. Let's give them the happy pill. That means they're going to continue to print. That
Right.
means that inflation will continue to rise. And that means, I think, and I'm not a financial advisor, probably luckily enough, um, uh, but to me, it spells a gold bull market. I don't think we've got started. Some of the banks are now coming out, like JP Morgan, and saying $6,000 gold. Now, they've never said that before. That's US
Right.
dollar. So in a currency like Australia, that's more like $10,000 gold. And it's not inconceivable, because what are they going to do about this debt? I don't know. But what I do know is real assets, diversification into real assets is going to be people's friends, but the majority of people just don't get it. People watching this channel, you guys get it. But what we should be doing is saying to people, try and educate those that have got their hands over their ears and are saying not listening, not listening, because they're the ones that are going to suffer the most in the devaluation of currency as we go forward.
Absolutely. Now, there's a lot of new members onto our silver and gold channel.
Oh, congratulations.
Oh, thank you. And there's a lot of younger people too. But what would be your
Right.
advice to them? Because I know you're not a financial advisor, but what would be, I guess, your guidance for being in the gold industry for the time you have been in? What would be your guidance to them?
Stop stop buying Uber Eats, stop subscribing to Netflix,
But I like
because
Uber Eats.
yeah, it's a waste of currency. Um, I often say to people that say, but gold's so expensive, uh, or they come up with excuses as to why they won't purchase precious metals. But they're very happy to go and get a flat screen TV or a new car or go out for dinner multiple times. If you want to just get started, then purchase a 1 ounce silver coin once a month. Then by
Right.
the in a year's time, you'll have 12 silver coins. And that will help you with your purchasing power. And it's what I call stacking. So just start. If you do nothing, you're in the realm of governments that don't want you to be wealthy. They don't want you to get out of the system because the system is there to make sure that they keep you at a certain level. Does that make sense?
Oh yeah, that totally makes sense.
It's
Yeah.
it's it's not difficult, ladies and gentlemen. So if you're listening to this, just you know, educate yourself, but know that the currency is being devalued by governments that don't care. And what we really want you to do is to understand that gold and silver are money and everything else is credit, and that credit is being smashed and devalued. So you do have to get educated. That's and start small, start
Right.
small, and then as the years go past and you understand the value of precious metals versus currency, you'll start to say, "Thank you, Ivan. I'm glad that you educating us." It's true.
If you're a gold owner, you already know about all the ways precious metals can hedge yourself against financial instability. Monetary Metals is revolutionizing how people can invest in gold and silver. Right now, there's opportunities for you to earn 4% interest on your gold paid in gold in their marketplace. Now is the time to secure your wealth in an asset that the government can't inflate away. Join thousands of investors earning interest in physical gold and silver every single month with Monetary Metals. Grow your gold over time so that you're not just preserving, but growing your wealth in an asset that can't get inflated away by just printing more money. Visit the link in the description below to get started now. No, absolutely. I agree with you, Carrie. Now, what are your thoughts on everything that's happening with Trump and China, the tariffs geopolitically? Stock markets now are going up really high since this China news with the US. What are your thoughts on everything?
Well, he amuses me because he turns around and puts out a tariff and says it's 100%. Oh no, I'm going to make it 20%. Oh no, I'm going to put it on pause for 90 days. Wow.
Right.
He changes his mind faster than I can have a glass of water. It's crazy time.
Right.
Um, I'm not sure. Is he doing it to baffle people? Is he doing it out of power? He has, I know the Chinese have turned around and called him a bully
Okay.
many times. Now, the one thing that you don't want to do, because let's face facts, China has over 1 billion people. The US don't have that many people. So, and China's smart. They think long term. So they'll look at what Trump's doing. They'll have a plan in action. I think that I don't know. I'm thinking this year the stock market might have a little bit of a pullback and shock a few people. It's a gut instinct. I'm not quite sure, Ivan, but these tariffs, they're going to have make the cost of goods go up. That's clear, and that means that inflation is sticky. It's here to stay. I think that gold and silver are going to do what they always do, uh, and I think more people are going to start to understand real money. And by the way, let's not dismiss Bitcoin in this conversation as well.
Right.
Some people call it digital gold. I don't like to say that. I like to call it it's a digital asset with limited numbers of Bitcoin, 21 million Bitcoin. So you
Right.
can't print Bitcoin, you can't print gold or silver. So in having those particular assets, you can potentially get out of the system because the other thing that's going to happen to people is as these governments realize that they don't have the level of income coming in, what are they going to do? The only other thing that they can start to do is raise taxes.
Right.
Now, here on the Gold Coast, which is where I live in Australia, we've just had a new tax. It's called a view tax.
No, geez.
A view tax. So if you live in an apartment complex above level 3, above floor 3, you get extra taxes because you got a view.
That's actually crazy.
It's come in, it's here, it's on top
What
of
the
your
heck?
rate. And the higher you are, the higher the taxes.
Hello, my fellow silver and gold stacker. I just wanted to say thank you so much for watching the channel. Subscribe, please like the video, and also hit the notification bell. Keep stacking. Well,
Now,
I'm in Canada. Sorry to cut you off. I'm in Canada, and Toronto. The mayor was talking about a rain tax, anytime it rains on the surface area, if you have a big surface area of your property, there'll be a rain tax for how much it rains. I
That's
swear.
almost as crazy as a view tax.
I know.
What is it? They should be paying you money, saying if you can collect some water, we'll pay you.
Right. No, if it rains and you have a big property, then you're gonna have to be paying taxes on that rain falling down.
See what I mean?
It's
And
just
people,
crazy.
the challenge with all of this, of course, is that we accept it. It's like,
Yeah.
oh well, it's another tax. Oh well. That's why I just think the system it's flawed and it's not going to get any better. And if you can somehow work your way around outside, not necessarily outside the system, because you're never going to get outside the system. We are in the system, if you like, but you've got to protect your purchasing power.
Yeah, no, I absolutely agree with you, Kerry. Now, before you go, I really want people to get more information about what's happening in Sydney in October. Where can people sign up for it? How can they get to it?
Real simple. Gold events with an S, goldevents.com.au. You know what? I'd love that. Now, who was it that's coming? Somebody from Canada. Because I was like, oh, we're going to have to try and work out oh, that's right. Toronto Stock Exchange, one of my sponsors. How could I forget that?
Oh,
Yeah.
really? No way.
Yeah. Because there's a connection, especially on the sort of the mining side, but also we've got some similarities. So yeah, Toronto Stock Exchange are one of our sponsors, and we're going to be talking about what's happening in Canada, what's happening in Australia, similarities, differences, etc. But goldevents.com.au, it's we start on a Monday at 5 p.m. on educating people about the different ways you can purchase gold and silver, from physical bullion to ETFs. Don't Personally, I don't recommend them, to digital precious metals like Rush Gold. We've got something there. There's different ways that you can buy it. People don't understand it. We need to educate them. And then we got 2 days of education and mining companies presenting.
Wow.
Uh, it's full on. We give them morning tea, lunch, afternoon tea, drinks, dinners, fun.
Wow.
Educate.
Everyone watching this, highly recommend you go sign up and check it out in Sydney, because I really want to be down there. So I'm gonna check my schedule and make sure I can make it my way down there in October. But Carrie, it's such a huge pleasure having you come down to speak to the silver and gold community. And as the market develops, as always, I really, really would love to have you back on.
I'd love to come back on, but more importantly, I would love you to come down in October. Maybe we'll get you on a panel or something and get you chatting.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. I'd really love that. Well,
All righty.
Carrie, thank you so much. And as I said again, love to have you back on in the future.
Thanks, Ivan. Always a pleasure.
Talk to you soon.